Hello, today I share another tool to work towards your inner freedom. We will be drawing a Neurographica drawing on the topic of saying yes to yourself and saying no to what is not in alignment with you at this moment. My name is Karmen. I share tools for inner freedom, and one of my passions is to use Neurographica as a powerful tool. Neurographica is a structured drawing method in which you can influence your own programs in the desired way. It works like magic, although it is not, because you create the change with your own hands. You don't need any artistic skills. You just need a pen and a paper. I'll guide you through the whole process. So let's draw our own boundaries now. So the first thing we do is we take the back of our paper and we write down our topic. And our topic is my boundary. Let's call it my boundary, because we want to learn to define in a certain topic, where's my boundary? And you can think of that situation, or you can also have it in general. Find now in the next 2 minutes associations on your boundaries. Can be related to a specific topic, can be also more general. Okay, let's do that. Yes. I hope you wrote your associations on the topic of my boundary. And I have a few interesting things that come up. So look at your own words, what come up, what happens with you if you get this topic to the surface, like you make yourself aware of that topic, that there are boundaries, your own boundaries. I have the most interesting thing I find here is that my nerves exactly tell me when I act out of alignment. And we will use this power of our nerves in this drawing in a minute. I also have the price for wanting to please is high, creating harmony in myself. Self-care, self-love means to act responsible. Alignment, peace and calm, inner knowledge, I am important, know, trusting my intuition, I know. Nobody needs to confirm what I feel and know. Listening to my intuition, calm, security, inner strength, in alignment. Yes, like in all kind of social interactions, it's very needed to define our own boundaries. And it's difficult because oftentimes we have had this experience that if we follow or want to follow our own path, we will be in trouble basically with the outside world. So we try to be pleasing, and by that we create trouble for ourselves. So now we want to look at that trouble for a while and define our own boundaries. So now if you think of a situation where you say yes, but you mean no, feel into that situation and feel into that state it creates in yourself. Like, I feel into this state, I feel upset, I feel very disturbed. And now we draw a shape representing that state, which is kind of look at that shape. Yeah. Look at your shape. See what it does. Like, my shape exactly expresses my state of my physical state. Like, my nervous system is in alert and in alarm if I don't act according to my own inner knowledge. And I also have a situation in mind where I try to be pleasing. Like the last 1 or 2 weeks, I tried to make myself do something which is actually not in alignment with myself. And today, finally, I luckily got to that point that I can act in alignment, and I said no to that situation. And what I did was I defined my boundary. So, and that's what we do now. We leave this shape for now as it is, this state of doing what is not in alignment with ourselves, of wanting to please. Don't worry, we will do something about that in a minute. But now I want you to define your boundary, like within this shape. It can be inside, like actually your boundary is very small, but you go a lot out of it. It can be bigger. Wherever you feel it, draw a circle now, representing your boundaries in relation to that topic. So, and my boundaries are maybe like that. I draw a circle, like your size, the size of your circle is that. And then I like draw some neural lines along this circle. That means that the lines can be naturally flowing. They're not going straight. And yeah, I'm feeling into that state of my own boundary. I still feel some upset on myself, and I feel like it's really nice to make my own boundary very visible to myself. It's never about the other people, because we tend to get to think the other people have caused our states by being mean to ourselves or whatever, but actually we do create our states ourselves, especially by wanting to please and not caring for our own boundaries. And that's the good news as well, because if we do ourselves create these states, then we ourselves can make the change. We create the change as well, and that's what we do here. Looking at this drawing now, the shape, I feel like satisfaction looking at that circle. What do you feel? How does it feel to see your boundary there? And also, like, check whether this boundary is like at the right place. Like for me, for example, the boundary is quite big, and I see like some of these things I wanted to say yes to. Some of it is outside, and I take it back inside. But it can also be that your boundary is very small here and you want to expand it. Then you can draw a second circle wherever you actually want it to be. For example, I could also decide to want my circle to be all around that. But for now, I don't feel that. So make sure that your circle is where you want it to be. And now we connect our circle to the field, and we start where these pokey shapes are. Like we draw neural lines. A neural line is a line that goes where we don't expect to see it. It flows naturally. It does not repeat itself. We lead it to where we do not expect to see it. Like we don't fulfill expectations. We let it flow, and at the same time we lead it to where we do not expect to see it. And in this phase now, we are gently dissolving the pokey impression of our pleasing behavior, of our saying yes to something that we don't want actually, and it doesn't feel good. And we feel into our body what is happening inside. Like I feel something in the area of my chest, some kind of excitement, some kind of upset. Wherever these lines meet, we make sure that we make a round intersection. We create smooth, very smooth intersections. That's very important because we want to change this impression of upset, this state. And we do that by creating round intersections because they remind of harmony. They are part of a circle and they create this impression of harmony for our mind. Change this topic, change this feeling of we are not in charge of our lives. Yes, we are. We create our reality. It's not the outside world, it's us, and it's our own like responsibility and also our own power to determine what we want to experience in the outside world. We are not, how to say, we don't have to wait for other people to change or to do something for us in order to feel peace and quiet and live a regulated, peaceful nervous system, live with a regulated, peaceful nervous system. We don't have to wait for anyone, and we don't have to please anyone to do that. You can draw yourself into this awareness that yes, you are 100% in charge of all you experience. No, you don't have to wait for anyone. No one needs to save you. No one needs to change in any way. The only thing you need to change is your own perspective. I mean, you don't need to, but if you want to have if you want to feel more inner peace and calm, and if you want to become ready to do your share in this world, you can stop waiting for the outside world to change before you can heal or do anything else. You are not even broken. You are absolutely 100% fine the way you are, and you are loved. You don't even have to do anything for that. Complete unconditional love is here for you at this moment, has always been and is here now as well. And from that knowledge can take your decisions and also your interactions with the outside world. You don't have to please anyone. You are inseparable part of universal love. So there is no mistake in you or no malfunctioning. It's everything there already. Everything. You are perfect the way you are. The only problem is that we don't believe in that. We believe in our limitations, whereas it's only the mind and the body which are exposed to limitations, but we are much more. We are using our mind, we are using our bodies, but we are not limited to our body's functioning, not limited to our body's fears and programming. We can reprogram whatever we want. If we look at our bodies being kind of our computer, our mind is our computer, and it had like programmed all the experienced, or is programmed by all the experiences of our own, of the whole life, then we can maybe also look at that a little bit more gentle, because our mind just doesn't know anything else. So look what I'm doing now. I'm creating lines inside the shape of my boundaries. And again, I'm creating neural lines, and I'm incorporating these pokey lines inside now. Let it flow. Slowly feel into the line. Let it flow. Work nicely on the intersections. And remember to breathe. I feel more excitement coming up, not even calm. I feel excitement coming up. Yeah, I'm in charge. I am 100% in charge of my life. I determine what I experience. Nobody else does that. Nobody else has that power unless I give it away. Why would I want to do that? I want to be in charge with, like, of my own life, of my own powers. I'm not willing to give my power away to anyone. For what reason? Hoo-hoo. Yeah, I'm thinking of like how I got myself into a lot of trouble already in my life by pleasing others for decades, giving away my own power, my happiness. I didn't even know what that was. It was hard to retrieve anything bringing joy to me. Focused on all my human limitations and upset about them. Upset about being on this earth, having to be on this earth, wanting to leave, basically. I mean, not to physically leave, but like I had this strong feeling that of like that it's everything is like, what is the word in English? It's quite useless, not needed to be here. And this state has been like in me because I was not following my own path. I mean, in a way, of course, I was following my path because I was also having these experiences and they were part of my path. And maybe also allow me now to understand like what's happening with us in our human bodies, to be able to relate to that, because I have really believed that for a long time myself on this earth. That yes, I am limited to my physical boundaries. And I was upset with that. But now I came to a state that yes, I accept these boundaries and I can even be grateful for my body, for this instrument which is like enabling me to experience this world and to also share my experiences with others. So as you see, I go over the lines again and lead them through the whole drawing as well, creating connections. That feels quite pleasing. I want to connect a lot of lines and go lead them through the whole drawing. And also back. Wherever I feel that I want energy flow, to create the energy flow, I do that. And I feel quite pleased doing that. I invite you to also find connections. The more connections we have, the more options to act in a new way we create for our brain. All these lines and all these intersections are creating pathways for our brains. We're drawing a new map for our brain, which will help us to act in alignment with our own inner wisdom. And now, see, I go and connect these intersections wherever I have created one. So we want them round and create this harmony, this circle shaped connections, to let the energy be like freely flowing everywhere. You can think of all these lines as energy flows, energy routes, and let it flow. Can you remember a trouble you created for yourself because you said yes to something which is not in alignment with you, which you actually knew from the first second, and then you try to convince yourself doing that? I bet you do. How is it going? What is your mind? How's your mind reacting on these lines? What does it say? Listen to that. You can write down what your mind is saying while you're drawing. You can stop the video to hear what I'm saying and listen to your own advice which you are channeling while drawing. Your own inner wisdom is coming through while drawing. There will be thoughts coming up, there will be ideas, there will be memories coming up, and all this is relevant information for you at this moment. Like drawing Neurographica is very strongly channeling your own knowledge, which is usually hidden and covered like by the mind, and it's like somewhere stored in the subconscious. But while we're drawing, we get access to that. And we also see that we have all the knowledge in us. We don't have to ask for advice for others. We have to become quiet and listen to our own knowledge. Become quiet and listen. Switch off your phone. Lay on the ground. Close your eyes. Listen. Yeah, nice. So I feel very pleased seeing this circle, which stands for my boundaries, and I want to make it really visible. I take a very thick marker now. Yes, and I make a very thick boundary here. I want to make my boundary very nicely visible. That gives me pleasure at this moment. Because I was so much tempted to cross my boundaries and to overlook my boundaries once again. And now I'm happy that I don't. And I won't. So I make that visible with a very thick line. My boundary is right where it is. My boundary is wonderful, pleasing myself, and keeping my sacred space and energy inside where I want it. It's not flowing where I don't want it. And I invite you to find this shape for you, one of your circles, like the shapes you defined, your circle, or even now you could also define it bigger if you feel that's suitable for your drawing. And now don't forget to go once around your circle and work on the intersections again, because they change now. If the outline of this circle becomes bigger, we need to adjust the intersections once more and take our time, because this is the most relevant work. Create all these new intersections in our map. Yes, in our yes to ourselves map. Yes, 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 yes. You don't even have to say no so much outside. If you say yes to yourself, it's very easy to take decisions. It's easy to take decisions in alignment with your own true self. And that's what we want. Not to bring ourselves into trouble. So nice. Nice, nice, nice. Feeling pleased. Feel in harmony. I also feel energy flowing here, and I will emphasize that with the colors in a moment. And I'm looking forward to that. So if you have waterproof markers, you can use highlighters for coloring. If you don't, like if you use a fountain pen like I often do, or some markers which are not like waterproof, then I recommend using pencils, or if you prefer pencils in general, of course, what I also oftentimes do. Yes, beautiful, beautiful. So now I feel it's time to use colors and add the energy of colors to my boundaries and to my good and healthy boundaries. And I pick a color which feels needed in here and start filling segments and combining segments with each other. And I let the color flow into my drawing here. But I take the color which feels suitable at this moment for that part of the drawing. I feel like it flows up here. And it went here as well. And I also let it flow here. I want a nice flow through my drawing and also through my circle. Now find some edges, can repair them. With the colors we aim to create large shapes, new large shapes, by combining cells to each other. So and here that feels really nice, like a flow of energy through my drawing. And I want some blue in it. And I put it here, start in the middle, see where it goes. So there's no need to put colors in every cell. White is also a color, and white is a color in which we leave space for the unknown, for the yet undefined. So that's also an interesting aspect to keep in mind. to also leave some space for what you don't define at this moment, cannot define, or maybe invite the unknown to your topic. And I let it flow. The other side of my drawing. I feel how big this shape wants to become. And I also feel what it does with my body and with my thoughts and emotions. So for me that feels, these colors at the moment feel expanding energy in my chest. I feel some tingling in my feet. I feel it's hard to keep my back straight for some reason. Maybe the need to take a little rest. Yes. At the moment I have two flows of energy, and actually I'm quite content with these colors at the moment. And I want to add field lines now, which are also more visible lines, but not as thick as the line of my most important shape. And field line is a line that flows through the whole drawing and is more visible and then the others, and it's inviting, explicitly inviting the divine, universal love and wisdom, the absolute, whatever you want to invite or whatever you want to call this force. So this is one, and I will create another one, maybe in which direction? Oh yeah, maybe here. Okay, let yourself guided. Observe where this stream of energy flows. Additionally to the colors and to all your other lines. You can go back and forth and feel into this invitation. Field lines, powerful streams of energy in your drawing. Attempting to make them the same thickness along the way. This one, for example, needs to go little more. Be calm doing that, content. I have this impression that I'm on my way, and I like the tenderness in this drawing. Maybe it's the message that I can also like very effortlessly keep my boundaries as a new achievement. It used to need a lot of effort for me to keep my boundaries. I needed to become like angry and fight for my rights, and until I was convinced to keep my boundaries, I needed to like pile up this energy of anger. But this drawing tells me that I'm ready to keep my boundaries with ease. It looks very like simple to me now and natural. Don't have to fight. Just make sure that I don't do what I don't want to do. Don't say yes to whatever I don't actually agree inside. You see, I'm connecting and rounding the intersections smoothly now. Intersection of the fear line and the smaller lines. Here it's quite small, so I make it bigger. If you need feedback on your drawings, welcome to ask me. You can send me an email and a picture of your drawing. And very soon there will be also an offer for you where you can book some feedback call with me. If you have started a drawing and you feel you want to have some personal feedback because you don't know whether it's going the way you want it to or whatever, you can book a call with me soon. This will be found on my Inner Freedom School page, which I invite you to check out anyway. I have some interesting collection of my last year's work, for example. Maybe you're interested in checking that out. Also, my offers are there. Guided healing sessions, drawing together your specific topics, your individual demands, requests, according to your life situation at this moment. I add some lines here and connect the intersections. I invite you to listen to the messages that come to you while you're drawing. Yeah, wherever you feel that lines are missing, you can add them anytime. Also after the drawing, next day, next 2 days, in a month, whenever you feel something is missing, you can add something. You can also add shapes if you feel the necessity for that. Hoo-hoo. Nice, 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 nice. That feels nice, and also it feels a little bit unknown. Maybe because of this tenderness, this drawing at this point. So I add a few more lines. I feel here it's very empty. Creating more connections. So you can check in your drawing whether you find some spots where lines, extra lines, feel appropriate. And if you find them, you can add them. So the idea is to have a balanced amount of lines, like in all parts of the drawing. And lines are always carriers of energy, of messages, of connections, wisdom. So don't hesitate to add lines. Yes. So you can add as many colors as you need. You can add shading. I will actually add some shading like outside of this circle, which also emphasizes the circle a little bit, but for some reason today I don't feel like shading inside, at least not at this moment. I add some darker shade outside. I want it once around. And obviously I will also fade it out in a minute a little bit. Idea is to emphasize the circle of my boundaries a little bit from here, and I will fade the shade, and then we don't have this sharp edge here. You can also apply shading inside the circle or at any other place of your drawing. Bring that drawing to a state where you personally feel satisfied and content with it. That's the last step, or no, it's not the last step, but the last step of drawing. And I might emphasize the purple a little bit inside my circle. More of the purple here. Yeah. Keeping my boundaries with ease. That's again what comes up. I like this impression. Seems to be very easy for me here. For all my future boundaries. I add a line here. It feels a little bit disconnected, so I add some color here. So whenever you're coloring, make sure that you don't leave single cells colored. Always two or more in one color. Segments, two or more segments. So I have a lot of white here, which is also very unusual for my drawings. And I'm content that I managed to leave white. Invite the unknown. And for now, I feel this is just right, and I leave it that way. And now, I'll show you first, like that. It's like that at the moment. I want to leave it because I feel it's good as it is for me. It's serving its purpose, filling me with contentment. And now I want to see what words come up into my mind after the drawing. And I write topic 2.0. I don't have to define that now. I will see what words come up. And maybe some new topic arises. Like for me, this ease, for example, has already come up. Keeping my boundaries with ease. Can be a topic and doesn't have to be named as well. Okay, so let's take 2 minutes and write down our associations now after drawing. Just write down everything that comes to your mind now. Yes. Keeping my boundaries with ease, joy, ease, creating concentrated energy, love flow through me, divine love flows through me into the world. In motion, content, harmony, inner strength, power, source inside, contentment, grounded, expanding, connected, powerful source in me. Yes. Let me know how drawing worked for you. Did you feel any changes before drawing, while drawing, and after drawing? Did your words change? Did your states change? What has happened with you? Do you have the impression that you were able to create a new map for your brain to reorientate on? Let me know in the comments. Write me an email, drawyourselffree@gmail.com. And remember, please like the video if you find this content useful. And also, I warmly invite you to subscribe to my channel for more drawing videos, also for recharging in nature videos, and also for some of my art in which I try to express what wants to come through me into the world. So follow along, be patient with my development. I do the best I can at this moment, and I invite you to also do that. You don't have to be perfect. Do the best you can do at this moment that keeps you moving. All right, let's move along into the direction of our inner freedom, which is actually not there, but as we know, it's going inside. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.